is meant for an adult audience. LoveLine may contain sexually oriented content. Listener discretion is advised.
LoveLine with Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew.
Hey, yo, it's the best of LoveLine. I'm Adam, that's Drew. Dr. Drew, board-certified physician, addiction medicine specialist. Let's talk to you kids about a little something called reading. You know, it's fundamental.
Yeah. I heard your wife is going to read you my book. She told me.
Really?
Yeah. The book is called Crack. Please go get it. But your wife called me and she was weeping and she liked it so much. Mm-hmm. And she insisted that she would read it to you. I mean, I know that's never going to happen. But
I'd actually farted. That's why she was crying. It wasn't the book that moved
on the
tears.
Yes.
I'll tell you who's on the show tonight. Aisha Tyler's on the show tonight.
No, System of a Down's on the show
tonight. What do I do? Jump down?
Yeah,
the next one? Oh, yeah. System of a Down. Yeah.
Come on, it's inspiring for you. You can think of
I love that. I got a lot of free porn from those guys. Randy Jackson from American Idol is going to be in here. Jane's Addiction is going to be in here. And Josh Brolin, I believe we had him in around the Toyota Long Beach Grand Prix race and talked to him about that. So let's get the show started with System of a Down. Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. John is here from System of a Down, and Chavo is here from System of a Down, except for I'm not sure where Chavo is.
Chavo's probably in the bathroom.
But as soon as Chavo emerges from the bathroom, he will come on out here and join us.
I didn't know you guys had a urinal installed right here in the room.
No, we just mic'd up the one that's down the hall. Yeah, there's Chavo. And the new CD, by the way, is called Steal This Album, and it is out as we speak. All right, I'm going to have to go again. Casey?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Casey. What's up?
Oh, I had a speaker come to school today, and she was bringing up different birth control methods and all that kind of stuff. And the last one she came to was pull-up. Mm-hmm. And she was talking about why they say, if, not to use it and all that kind of stuff, but that there's some big, misconception about how the pre-seminal fluid is why you shouldn't do it for the main reason. Mm-hmm. And she went into saying that that is not what carries the sperm, you know what I mean? That it doesn't always have it in it.
That's true.
Okay.
It doesn't always have it in it.
Okay.
But Drew, you always say there's...
But there is some evidence that sometimes it can be highly concentrated in sperm.
See, that's the first thing that popped into my head was, you in the back of my head going, but wait a second.
Yeah, but you got to... It's controversial, but you don't want to take that risk.
Yeah.
Well, can't someone figure this out?
It's probably some people have and some people don't. You can't predict when it's going to be there and when it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she brought up the other fact that before a man ejaculates that there's, some men have between 2 and 3 spurts is what she referred to it as, and I was like, okay, these are things that have never been brought up to me or that I've never really
2 or 3 spurts of what?
Of semen.
Before their sperm.
Canola oil. What do you think?
But the spurts that are sperm free?
No, that are sperm. Before I guess you call it the load, you know what I mean?
The load.
The load is coming all the way.
Yeah, is that the industry term?
The load. You mean contractions before something is emitted? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
I guess. I mean...
Well, no, here's the deal. Spurts would suggest something
coming out
of the penis.
I think that's what she was trying.
No, I think you're talking about contractions before the spurt occurs.
Yeah, it's like when you vomit.
Yeah.
When you vomit, you go...
Yeah, that's right.
Like the third one, it all comes flying out of you.
It's when your penis vomits.
Right. Yeah, so if you feel that thing, if you feel the balls doing that means it's
hey, there's
to
something
slide out.
else interesting just came out this week. A vaccine for certain wart viruses, for certain of the genital wart viruses, the ones that cause cervical cancer. So we may be getting close to eradicating genital warts.
So you just you get the shot.
Hell yeah!
You wouldn't be able to do any. What if you already had it?
You got it.
You got
it. There's so far no way to.
But you would have to get this shot.
To get the shot if you don't have it. And there are several different viruses that are associated with cervical cancer, but the one big one they now have a good vaccine against.
Can't you just sand them down or something?
Yeah, it still causes the cancer.
Take a Dremel or Digride.
It is. This vaccine looks really good. It's going to be revolutionary, I think.
All right. Good times. Hey, Casey?
Uh-huh.
All right, there you go, baby.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you for paying attention. That's good.
Yeah. The hell went on in that class?
Let's ask what they told her about the morning after pill.
They say anything about the morning after pill?
She told me was that here on the Central Coast that she just got the license that her the health department around here to give it out as like a prevention thing, because not a lot of people can get to where it is.
But did she describe to you how it works and that kind of thing?
Oh, that you take one within 72 hours and then another one 12 hours after.
But should you talk about the misconceptions around that pill and how it works?
No.
Okay.
True. It's a pop quiz? Leave her alone.
Well, about RU47 and how people confuse all that with the abortion pill.
Right.
Where do you go? Kate, you go to public school?
Yeah.
Wow. Progressive.
Well, I have parents that tried to educate me on all this stuff a long time ago.
You're a good student, right?
For the most part. I kind of screwed off the first 2 years, but,
all right, but you're back
I got
now.
my act together.
Yeah. See, like if you would have asked me what went on after an assembly, and when I was 17, I would have a dude had shoes with buckles. Queer. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't think he's talking about either. She's talking about birth control or the Holocaust. I can't remember, but the dude had gay shoes. Oh, man, I couldn't stop staring at him.
I lost the headphones.
All right, let's talk to Nick, who's 17. Nick?
Hey,
what's up?
I've listened to the show for a long time, since I don't know when. But but every Thanksgiving, you always talk about your cranberry sauce.
Right.
How you hate it in the can.
Right.
And I've been waiting for it, and I haven't heard it.
Well, I want to do. I want to avoid this sound.
I saw 3 sacks of cranberries sitting in our kitchen. I was so proud.
Really?
Yep.
Is your wife gonna? Your wife's not gonna.
Oh, she cooks like.
Remember the year you tried to lie to me and tell me your wife made fresh cranberries, and then you started backtracking and saying, well, maybe it wasn't fresh, and then I called her and she didn't make it.
She bought it fresh.
You lied.
No. But now I got the cranberries sitting there.
Okay. Well, let me give you the recipe. But here's the deal, and I'll clue in John and Chavo. I like cranberry sauce. I like fresh cranberry sauce for the Thanksgiving. I like everything fresh. You know, I don't want a canned turkey. I don't want canned stuffing or green beans. Everything you make fresh. But people don't make the fresh cranberry sauce. They just open the can. They think that's good enough. To me, unacceptable. And fresh cranberries, very easy to make. You know, you buy a sack of cranberries. I need to go to work for, the Cranberry Education Board, because I talk to people about this all day, and they're like, what's a cranberry look like, and where do you buy them, and how do you do it?
Little cherries.
Yeah, cranberries look like little beans, and they're little red beans, and they come in a sack, like Ocean Spray sells them in a sack, and all you got to do to make fresh cranberry sauce is open that sack into a little saucepan, put in a cup of water, and then put in, a cup of sugar, and put the lid on it.
A full cup?
Well, that's what the recipe calls for, Drew.
All right.
Seems like a lot of sugar, but cranberries are very tart, you know?
Yeah, I'm in.
Here's the way I do it. I start with maybe 2/3 of a cup of sugar, because I like it a little on the tart side, and then you can always work in a little more sugar. Seasoned to taste, as they say.
Throw any walnuts in there, anything fancy?
I don't like getting crazy with that stuff, but I will put a little zest of lemon or a little orange or lemon rind in there.
And you simmer
adds
it,
color,
boil
makes it pleasing to the eye as well as the palate.
I see, yes.
You see?
Yes,
You guys cook cranberries, or what do you guys eat?
So
Weed kebab.
Wait.
Really?
No.
You guys get down with the Thanksgiving, the turkey and stuff, right?
Wait, do you boil it, simmer it? Do you let it cover it?
Put it on just a medium heat.
For how
put
long?
the lid on the pot, walk away. 5 minutes later, done.
5 minutes.
Cranberry sauce. People think it's going to take a few hours. No.
I think it's
done.
time that people took a stand.
That's what I'm saying.
On something.
Yeah, take a cran. That's going to be part of the...
There you go. Well,
maybe
bumper stickers will be all over the country
Take
tomorrow.
a cran stand and cook fresh cranberries this year. And Nick?
Yeah.
All right, so you going to do this? Because I'm doing it.
Of course.
My family tells me to bring it. It was a little rough 4 or 5 years ago when I popped up the Tupperware thing of cranberry at Aunt Pat's house, and she gave me the stink eye because they're like, what, is my cranberry not good enough for you? And I was like, I'm just covering myself. I like fresh cranberry. And there was a little tension at the table, but then everyone dug into my cranberry. And all was forgiven.
Now, how are you going to do Thanksgiving this year? First married year? Well, how's this going to work?
I got to go to the crazy in-laws' house, and then over to Dad's house.
Dad's house.
Yeah.
And what time you gonna be at the in-laws' house? Like early?
I don't know, like 3 o'clock. I just sit there and she talks about the Bible.
Why don't both families come together?
No. No. That I don't need that. No, it's enough. It's enough spread apart.
And then you, at your house, were your stepsister and all the step family?
Yeah, they'll be there.
The ones from Oregon? Where, Oregon?
Yeah, somewhere around there. They move around a lot.
How many years did you live with those people?
My stepsister?
Yeah.
I lived with her for like 3 years.
Where did this fascination with taboo come from?
No, I wonder what went on there, but I'm just curious. I met his family at his wedding, and these are all people I've never. There's a whole sort of wing of his family that lived in the same squalor that he did that he never mentioned.
Well, they didn't live in the squalor because they didn't come into the family until the last couple of years.
She had your garage.
She lived in the garage, yeah.
And then she complained that you could even get in and use the bathroom, but she couldn't.
Are you kidding? I used to get locked out of the house. I couldn't use the bathroom. Why was I crapping in a decorative popcorn tin if I could use the bathroom? My Aunt Pat and Uncle Vince gave me. And by the way, no worse gift for an 18-year-old. Hey, we bought you a tin of popcorn. Oh, fantastic.
Let's see, this could do a second as a toilet. Okay.
Right. This is the same aunt and uncle that got me each year for my birthday. They would send me the little card that had the slots in it, and they put a dime in for every age you were, and it's great. 14. Let me do the math. $1.40. Let's see. What could I buy? Well, I could get into half a movie. And once I'm in the movie,
candy bars.
I could buy like one candy bar or half a soda. Oh, that's great. That's great. Change. You're sending your nephew change? Oh, what kind of thinking is that, Drew?
Did you crap in the tin till it filled up?
No.
Just halfway.
You'd empty it every time?
Not empty it. Well, because the problem is it got too heavy to carry. I had to roll it out. No.
What do you give them for the holidays now?
Nothing. I give them cranberry sauce. That's it. All right, so everyone make your own cranberries. That's what I'm saying. And
take a stand.
Take a stand. Make the cran. Right.
Yeah.
And cook it up fresh. It's very easy. Very easy. And it's delightful. And you know what's nice? When you make a sandwich the next day, you get the white meat, spread that out on the bun, and then put a nice layer of cranberry on top of it. It makes it very moist. Helps the white meat go down. Cecilia?
Hey.
You're 14?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hey, guys. I was just wondering, like, what toxicity, or not what toxicity, what Aerials was all about. Like, what would you guys, like, write it about? What is it, like, based on?
Don't really explain our songs ever. It's open to your interpretation.
Well, like, yeah, but, like, okay, then, what's the video about?
Video?
Yeah.
We don't really explain ourselves. It's kind of open to your interpretation.
Sort of like,
hey, can I tell you a story?
Trapeze artists.
I'm going to tell you a story right now. True story, okay? You ready?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I'm just kidding. Today we were doing a signing here in L.A. I don't know where you're from.
San Diego.
Yeah,
San Diego.
Well, we were doing a signing here in L.A., and we found out at the Tower Records that we were at that they put Serge's book. Serge has a poetry book called Cool Gardens.
Mm-hmm.
They had it in the gardening category at the Tower Records.
I didn't know about that.
That is good.
That's really cool.
Back to your topic, though. We don't really define our songs. But if you want Serge's book, go to the gardening section of the Tower Records.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I love you guys. Okay.
We love you, too.
Bye.
Take care, baby. Let's talk to Dan.
Hi.
Dan, what's up?
Hey, what's this Taboo 2 I've been hearing about?
You're not a believer yet, are you?
This is the world's best pornographic film.
Really?
And not movie, film.
Should have won the Oscar, I think. Really should have. For porn. If there was one, it would have won it.
That's right.
Where can I get it from?
It's the Michael Jordan of porn.
I'm not so sure other people will sort of experience it with the same delight.
Oh, they better. They better.
It was your sort of primordial experience of porn because you were 11 when you were exposed to this.
No, I wasn't 11.
14,
I was
18, whatever you were.
No, I was like 18, and I met the Wheeze, who's my buddy who actually had a VCR in his room, and I never knew anyone who had a VCR because I hung out with losers, and my family was a loser. And he had a VCR with Taboo 2, and so that's the one I watched, and then we fell in love. But the movie holds up. it's a good film. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Let me give you another example. You ever seen Watership Down? You know what I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
No.
It's a cartoon, basically, based on a book. When I was a kid, I watched this, and I thought it was the most amazing movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it about a month ago. I got it on DVD. I wasn't impressed.
Right.
Taboo, I watched it as a kid. I thought it was the most amazing movie ever.
Mm-hmm.
I watched it yesterday, and I was still just as impressed as I always was.
That's right.
It holds up to time.
It's like
Gone with the Wind. It's always going to be a classic.
It's like falling in love all over again each time you see it, Drew. It really is. It really works. And the music is
I want
great.
To see the scene
cinematography is
where your
great.
famous song is sung.
You need to. You know
I
what?
See that part.
I'm going to give that to you. We'll get Adam another copy.
Adam's got jacked. No.
Let him borrow it after next week.
That's right.
All right.
For one day.
All right. You borrow.
Watch the movie. I'm going to call you and give you a quiz.
I want you to watch it
first. Forget The Shining.
I can't believe you haven't seen The Shining, though.
I know.
I can't believe that.
You'll be shining your dork when you see this baby, Drew.
He'll pull up in a Porsche. Let's put it that way at the end of that movie.
It's like
my dork.
Cut to 3 weeks from now. Adam's in the hospital. He's been low on fluids and electrolytes. He's hooked up to an IV. He's lying. He's incoherent on the bed. He's catatonic, but he's hanging on to the tablet too. Yes. Drew slides into the room with his white coat on. Says, "I'd like to see the patient." He tries to pry it from my half-dead hand. I cling to it. He won't let go of the DVD. Drew. That's how you can get it from me.
We need to release the penis now, Mr. Corolla. We got to sew it back on the body.
Yes, Adam, you can no longer stroke the penis when it's not attached to you. Let the doctor sew it back on. Mary?
Uh-huh.
You're 16?
Yes.
What's up?
Hi, I usually wax my bikini area, but this weekend I wasn't able to, so I had to shave it. And then I did that on Friday. Then Friday night I had sex. And then, on Saturday, I had, a really bad, rash.
Yeah, that's just from the shaving. Probably.
Well, no, because, it's also, broken out, where, I didn't shave at. And I never had, razor burn that bad before.
And it's on both sides?
Yeah.
Where you didn't shave at?
Yeah, well, I don't know, if razor burn can, spread or
Does
whatever.
it get inside the vagina at all?
No, but, it's,
Well, there's a couple possibilities. One is that it is still some sort of folliculitis, an infection of the hair follicle, which can kind of spread around a little bit. Or maybe a herpes.
That's not going to spread around a little bit if there was no shaving in that area.
It's a staph. It just moves.
Really?
Yeah, it spreads.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit. But yeah.
Or it's herpes,
Or it's herpes.
Yeah, it's either a razor burn or herpes.
But would herpes kick in that fast?
Usually not, but it sometimes does come kind of quickly.
Yeah, that's
folliculitis or herpes, right?
I didn't think that it could happen that fast.
It usually doesn't. It usually doesn't.
Because the next morning.
Yeah, it usually doesn't.
Oh, okay.
It's probably just still related to the
okay, thank you.
What should you do to it?
Neosporin, something like that. Actually,
really?
If you get Bactroban ointment, that'd be the best thing.
They sell that?
Prescription.
No? Why? Because it works?
Yeah.
What's the danger in that? Okay, but can you look into these things, Drew?
There was a huge article about sort of examining this, why certain things and how to get things more.
I scream at Drew all the time. Why the crab shampoo? Why does that need to be a prescription item? You know what I mean?
Isn't it the same thing that you use if you have lice?
Yep.
Yeah. And they got one that they sell over the counter, but it doesn't work. And then there's one that does work, but you got to get a prescription. And I argue that a lot of people, especially young people, they don't have insurance, they don't have a doctor, they don't want to talk to their parents, they don't want to go talk about crabs.
They want to go to Shame On.
That's our new drugstore idea. This is a drugstore that only caters to people who have sort of dicey sexual problems. You get your herpes medication.
And this will be our sign.
Shame On.
Yeah, we'll use the Taboo logo. Yeah, you go there, get your crab combs, all kind of stuff, in a judgment-free environment. That's where the real sale is.
Shame on.
Mike?
Yes.
You're 33?
Correct, yeah.
What's up?
I heard you guys several months ago talking about this, and I don't know if it's been brought up. I've caught the tail end of it. My penis is slightly bent to the left, and I know it can't be that bad. Maybe 25, 30 degrees. I'm not sure. Anyway, the problem is the upper third of the right side of my penis gets bad friction burn every time I have sex. Whether I use a condom or don't use a condom.
Interesting.
Normally I use a condom.
All right.
And what happens is, most of the time I can't have pain-free sex again for another week. and sometimes even longer than that because it takes time for it to heal.
All right. Well, here's you want to straighten things out?
That's what I don't know. Is that what I need to do?
Well,
pardon the pun.
If it's something like a Peyronie syndrome where you have a little scarring on that left side that's pulling it over to that side, vitamin E, 800 units a day will help that out.
Not really, though.
Yeah, it does. It actually does.
Take it through the mouth?
Through the mouth. Vitamin E, 800 units a day.
Okay, I do take a 400 units of vitamin E plus an aspirin a day and a men's one a day.
Well, you need a little more, 800 units a day.
Yeah, don't count on this work.
It may not work. It doesn't look like it's not at the tip. It's not like a complication of your circumcision.
It's right below the tip is where it starts.
Yeah, so
that could be a circumcision problem.
Yeah, sometimes
right?
the circumcision scarring pulls it over to one side too, and that's a little bit more difficult. There are surgical procedures to release and repair these things. Most of them involve taking a piece out of the other side, the open end.
I'm taking the headphones off.
And bringing it back up, but that kind of shortens things a little bit. Most guys don't like that.
So it's kind of like chopping down a tree.
Right.
Yeah. I never had a complaint from a woman as far as it being curved too much, and I never had a problem with sex. And
are you circumcised?
No, I mean yes, I am circumcised.
Yeah. All right, so you got a little gooseneck on the wiener there, a little dog leg.
Google said it was better. I don't know.
All right,
neck on the wiener there. Uh-huh.
All right, well, I don't know what you can do about it. How about a little more lube?
That's what I was thinking.
That doesn't seem ever to be the problem.
How long are you having sex for before the irritation?
8 hours.
How long? What's that?
How long are you at it before the irritation develops?
How long was I at? Oh, you mean like how many years did I have sex?
No, how long are you having sex in a session before the irritation develops?
Depends on how tight the woman is, to be honest with you. Usually, I don't know, maybe upwards to 20 minutes.
Come on, bro, be honest.
So 20 minutes in, the pain starts.
Yeah, I never time it. You know how.
All right, so finish earlier.
You got to finish earlier. And let me say this: what about a little skid plate on that part of the penis? Like here's what I'm saying. Well, I know it sounds kooky, but like I've been watching. I watch a lot of football, and I noticed this year in the last couple of years, a lot of guys when they're playing on the AstroTurf, instead of wearing elbow pads, they wear these almost X-shaped bandages that just sort of stick on their elbows. They don't want to wear elbow pads, but they don't want to get scuffed up on the turf. And obviously, this is some sort of surgical adhesive stuff because it ain't peeling off. You got guys sweating and grinding their elbows, and it's not peeling off.
They put it on the skin.
Put it right on the skin,
so they don't burn when they hit the AstroTurf.
Kind of looks like a patch.
That would feel good on the penis and real good on the vagina.
You know what? Why don't you just do it sideways?
Will be fun.
Just have sex sideways.
Yeah, you go,
and it's gonna angle the way it's supposed to angle, and you'll be all right.
Or you get with an Asian woman because
oh my God!
Didn't you?
Why?
You know what they say?
No, why?
Oh, true. It goes the other way.
True.
Oh, really?
That's what I hear.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I was talking to Minka about that. She said it was true.
The uterus tips the other way?
Yeah, the whole thing is tipped over on the side.
The vagina goes the other way.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah, don't you know anything?
No, I guess not.
You never studied that chart?
No.
You got to stick with me.
I'm with you.
All right. System of a Down is here. John and Chavo both from the band, and we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
Hello. This is your radio. LoveLine will be right back.
As many as 1 in 3 Americans with HIV don't know it. To find a testing location near you, call toll-free 1-866-344-KNOW.
LoveLine with Dr. Drew and Adam Carolla on 94.7 NRK.
Well, we're back with the best of LoveLine. I'm Adam. That is Dr. Drew. Don't bother calling the show. There'll be no one to pick up the phones. Randy Jackson was in here from American Idol.
Would you say one of the nicest guys on television?
A delight.
Yeah.
A delight.
Yes, no, all right.
Like to eat him like a chocolate bunny. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
It's good people, that Randy Jackson. So, hey, why don't you listen to him, and I think you'll fall in love with him, too.
Phone number 1-800-LVE-191. Randy Jackson here tonight from American Idol. I was just talking to Randy how envious I am of him and his job, where he just gets to sit there and pass judgment on people and doesn't have.
I earned it, baby. 20 years later.
Doesn't have to do all those that nuts and bolts stuff where he's remembering everyone's name and welcoming to and throwing to commercial.
Right.
And then I started thinking about Drew, and I thought, that son of a bitch. He does the same thing. He hasn't even said a word yet. That's right. All he did is repeat what I said 10 seconds ago. I got to remember all the guys in the band and remember
all those
everyone's
muscles.
name.
Here's the comedy, though. If I try to do some of that stuff, you get pissed off.
Quiet, Drew.
There you go.
Quiet, I was talking.
See?
Quiet down. How dare you speak in
We
front
know
of
you're
me.
a doctor.
Yeah, stay with that. Stick with it.
Doctor,
right,
bring me
that's
the
all you know.
serum. I need the serum.
Then we get into that I'm a cigar store Indian, and
Well, he's a little wooden.
Yeah.
A little wooden. Now, I was saying, Drew's got his dogs in here.
Mm-hmm.
Nice dogs, though, man.
Yeah.
What's up, dogs?
You can give him a. Must be nice to say dog and actually be talking about a dog.
Yeah, it's a good feeling. You know what I'm saying? Because it's true. You know what I'm saying?
So, Drew, you can give him a downstay.
Yeah.
Drew, you got the timeouts for the kids. And the what do you got for the wife, though? That's the one you really need.
Yeah.
And the radio partner.
Really? Oh, just
Oh,
You and the two challenges are me.
It might be a bend over in there somewhere.
Adam, Adam, my wife.
I was thinking we'll go back to the phones here, but I was talking about during the break, talking to Randy and Drew about watching documentaries. I go home watch a Hitler documentary every night. Well,
what does that do to you?
There was on the History Channel.
You're an upbeat guy.
Yeah, wow.
Good
Depressing.
times,
Well,
huh?
it has sort of a happy ending in that he kills himself, you know. And it's nice to see the Russians and the Americans sort of storming through town and blowing up big swastikas and stuff like that, you know. But I always think, God, I could have got a ton on eBay with that thing if it hadn't blown that thing up. But and then of course de Gaulle gets to triumphantly march through Berlin as well, as if he did anything
As if he
but
did it, yeah, exactly.
cower in some wine cellar for 3 years of pussy French. Tired of those people, please. But here's what I was thinking. You know, every night on the History Channel, it's like Hitler's henchmen, and then Ava Braun, you know, Hitler's mistresses
girl,
and stuff.
yeah.
And I thought, you know, like, what about the Hitler estate? You know what I mean? Are they getting, like, Elvis? The Elvis estate gets a ton of money off Elvis-related stuff.
I think that was dismantled long ago.
The Hitler estate?
Yeah.
But
Are you sure?
But I'm just saying, the History Channel gets tons and tons of programming. They throw the guy's name and likeness around.
Yeah.
Some daughter living in New Jersey or something that gets a taste or something.
I don't think so.
I don't want anyone to get rich off it, but where's the history? Where's that money going?
No, probably.
Do you know what I'm saying?
I don't think when the Saddam stories are told, anybody will be getting money about that.
Are you sure he had like 58 brothers or something?
Yeah, I'm not sure, but I just don't
Let's start looking into securing those rights.
Yeah.
The three of us.
All right.
No, not the right.
Right? Splitting the cash.
Yeah. Every time they do one of those Saddam's mistresses, cha-ching.
Right.
We do one of these token things where we donate like 2% to some cause that no one's heard of. Carol?
Hi.
You're 29?
Yes, I am. Hi, Adam. Hi, Dr. Drew. Hi,
What's up?
Randy Jackson. How you doing?
How you doing? What's up?
I'm doing good. Hey, Adam, I work at a gas station. In fact, I'm working right now, and I want to tell you that we let special people like you use our bathroom.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're calling from New Hampshire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably have to pull over and take a squirt somewhere around New Mexico or someplace like that. You know, I don't think I'd make it all the way there.
Well, I was out in L.A. in October, and I understand what you mean by walking into a gas station not being able to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I think New England gas stations are a tad bit different than the L.A. inner city stuff.
They're not manned by angry Shiites who don't give a Shiite about where you take a leak.
No, we're just manned by angry women. There's about 80% women who work here.
Oh, really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Lesbian?
What, lesbians?
Sort of butch lesbian types?
No, not all of them.
But most.
But most, wow.
All right.
Lesbian.
I have a question for Dr. Drew.
Yes, ma'am.
I got the impression that you had a guest on a couple months ago that you didn't like New Hampshire for some reason. And I was wondering.
I didn't like New Hampshire? I love New Hampshire. I went to school in New England.
Wow.
UMass Amherst?
No, Amherst College.
Amherst College.
And so we used to go straight up into Vermont and stuff all the time.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
I'd like to see the leaves change and all that.
Yeah,
Oh, my
it's
God,
beautiful,
it's
man. It's
unbelievable.
beautiful, man.
It's really pretty. I have another question for Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
I was watching. I'm a big baseball fan, and I noticed Derek Jeter just separated his shoulder during the opening day for them. I want to know exactly what that means.
Usually, as I understand it, there's a tendon between the clavicle and the acromion, which is the top part of your scapula. It's where it forms your shoulder, and you can pull that apart. You can rip the rotator cuff. There can be a pull in the bicep tendon. Lots of different things can kind of pull apart in there.
Stuff comes out of the socket and then comes back, right?
Yeah, that's a dislocation.
Yeah.
Isn't that what happened to him?
Yeah, he was fighting headfirst into third base, and I guess the catcher of the other team almost tackled him. And
I saw
that. So it's literally it pops out and it stretches all the tendons. They put it back in.
Yeah, they had to pop it back in.
Yeah, it looked like it hurt like hell.
It did. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's painful. Listen, you're talking to a guy who had a shoulder dislocation for 4 days.
Wow.
Yeah, did not go back. Had to be surgically put back.
Oof.
That was tough. Popping out, brutal.
Oof.
But not popping back for 4 days, bad times.
You can get the blood supply cut off, permanent nerve damage.
They thought my arm wasn't going to grow.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, that's just the growth plate damage, but you can actually pinch off the nerve and the blood supply be a mess.
Oh, it was. It
hurt enough, I'm sure.
And let me tell you about trying to reset something like a shoulder. They shoot it up and they try to reset it. If they don't reset it, they don't get a second shot. I mean, they can't get near you. I had to check in the hospital, be put to sleep.
Wow.
Oh, it was brutal.
Let's not do that again.
No.
Did you play any sports before music?
Football, yeah.
Was it college or high school?
High school, rock'em sock'em.
You ever dislocate anything?
No, I had a couple knee operations though. I had those things happen, but those were painful too.
That's
but,
for real. That's not.
You're just going with such adrenaline. It was hard for me to tell. I walked around on it for a while.
Yeah, Adam, you're right. You're right. Adam is a pussy.
No. Listen, how dare you? I have had a knee dislocation. It popped out.
The patella dislocated.
Whatever dislocated in my knee, it popped out, and then it popped back.
That's not
I
what
still
he's
needed
about.
surgery.
Oh.
Jackass.
All right. On your knee? You had surgery on your knee?
Yeah.
Oh, really? No kidding.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was arthroscopic surgery,
that's
wasn't
surgery.
it?
Yeah, those are the good kind.
Yeah,
that's
I needed
real.
surgery.
Oh, wow.
But
still hurt.
It's funny you never mentioned that.
Yeah. It wasn't that big. I mean, it wasn't.
Knee injuries are big deals.
No, but the shoulder. The shoulder was like taking a bullet in the chest. I couldn't be moved. It screwed
How old
up my
were you?
whole. I was like 12 or 13.
Oh, wow.
It's Pop Warner football, but
yeah,
the knee thing you could sort of hobble off with. The shoulder thing you couldn't let. No one could touch you. That stopped the football game. Cut my jersey off. Called an ambulance.
Wow.
Called the game.
Were you out here? Did you grow up out here?
Oh no, Louisiana, the dirty South, man.
Louisiana.
Yeah, Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge. Red
God.
Stick.
Do you know why they call it Baton Rouge?
No.
Do you know why? You must have, because the guys that were the original surveyors came around. The French guys came around with a red stick and just marked it out and boom, put them down.
Yeah.
Yep, but there it is. This is the red stick.
Baton Rouge.
Really?
Yeah.
It does sound a hell of a lot better than Red Stick, though.
Red Stick, Louisiana.
LSU's down there.
Yeah, man.
You go to school there?
Yeah, well, a bit. Yeah, I went to both LSU and Southern. It was a good time, baby.
Melissa,
Yes.
you're 22.
Yes.
What's up?
Well, I have a problem with self-mutilation, and I like to do it, but I don't like to do it. But
What do you do?
What?
What's your technique?
I cut with blades,
On your legs, your forearms, where?
arms, and my legs.
Your legs. So you're sort of hiding it from people.
Yes.
All right. And what's the question?
Well, I don't hate to do it until after I've done it.
Do you feel a lot of shame and guilt, remorse?
Yeah, kind of.
Well, what is it you hate afterwards?
Well, I guess just because it's not normal, so I guess maybe that is shame.
That's shame, yeah.
So the fact, though, that I like it while I'm doing it makes me wonder if I actually do like it or if it's like...
Well, people don't do it because they don't like it. You know what I mean? They do it because it does something for them. Whether it is a way of inducing a sort of dissociative state where they removes them from some painful feelings, or whether it sort of makes them feel more alive because they can actually feel something. And in either case, they get biological changes, endorphin surges, this sort of thing that helps people who have very primitive mechanisms for dealing with feelings. It helps them sort of distance themselves from them or deal with them. And it really is a sign of real profound pain and that you need help.
Is it something that it's like you're punishing yourself or something?
They're not trying to hurt themselves. They literally, there's various versions of it. Some people go into a fugue state and they start doing it. Other people are really doing it because they get high from it.
Right.
Whatever it is, it's a response to very primitive injuries and a brain that can't manage feelings any other way. Right. It's just the behaviors are just induced as a way of just coming to terms and managing with things that are overwhelming. And Melissa, this is treatable, but it's a sign that you need help.
Well, I go to a doctor, but every time I try to talk about it, it's like he doesn't even want to touch the subject.
What kind of doctor is it?
Well, he's a psychiatrist.
All right. Well, it's not so much talking about the self-mutilation that helps you.
Yeah, but what do you mean he doesn't want to touch it?
Go to a different doctor.
Yeah.
He'll jump around on the subject, and I'll ask him this, and he'll say, no, it's not really that, and then he just jumps to something else.
Well, I mean, he probably doesn't want to talk about the symptom. He probably wants to talk about what motivates it.
Right.
I mean, whatever happened to you when you were younger. What did happen to you?
What do you mean?
Anything bad?
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't great, yeah.
All right, so those are the things you need to talk about.
And being a trauma survivor sort of leaves you with certain kinds of brain mechanisms and wiring and certain injuries that you gotta learn to deal with by developing a new relationship, a therapeutic relationship with someone that can help you develop the mechanisms for managing overwhelming feelings.
How long have you been going to this doctor?
Oh, hold on a sec, let me get her back. How long have you been seeing him?
On and off since maybe I was like 15 or 16.
Wow.
Yeah. And
I've been doing it since I was 9, though.
The self-mutilation.
Drew, would you recommend a different doctor?
Well, with folks like Melissa, having a long-term relationship and being able to learn to trust and developing a deeper relationship with anybody is almost more important than anything. So the fact that she's been able to be with one guy for 7 years is important and sort of leads me to believe that maybe she shouldn't change. On the other hand, maybe the reason she can tolerate this relationship is this guy really doesn't offer her much.
Right,
and
that's
she
what I'm
can't
saying.
tolerate it. She might want to talk to him about perhaps getting a therapist. Maybe the psychiatrist has just been sort of managing you, supervising you, giving you meds, that kind of thing. Maybe a more intensive therapeutic relationship with someone that he recommends would be more appropriate for you.
I always hear self-mutilation, but it's always the same thing. It's always the razor blade on the...
Some people do cigarettes and...
Yeah, I'd like to see someone put an M80 up their ass.
M80 up the ass? Thanks. We'll have that call next week,
I'd like
I'm sure.
to talk to that guy. Or just
it has to be a guy, doesn't it?
Just like
it wouldn't be that girl.
No.
That's very sexist.
All right, let's take ourselves a little bit of a break. Randy Jackson is our guest tonight from American Idol, and we'll be right back.
LoveLine.
1-800-LOVE-191.
We'll be right back.
Well, that was Randy Jackson. Randy Jackson's a big man. He had that stomach stapling procedure recently. Yeah.
So at the time we saw him, he's big enough to cover 2 episodes of LoveLine. Two segments.
Two and a half.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little more Randy Jackson for you.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Phone number 1-800-LOVE-191. Randy Jackson is our guest tonight. He's the #1 judge from American Idol. And they don't shake the order up, do they? They go to you. They go to you first each time.
They go to me first, yeah. Usually first up.
Now, it would almost seem like in normal, like I just was a judge on Star Search, and they'd mix it up. They'd go to Ben Stein once.
Well, we do that before we get to the top 12. We do that in the other weeks, yeah.
Now you go in order, and you're the point man.
Yeah, I lead it off. It's like a relay, yo.
Yeah, that makes you the slow one, though.
Yeah, exactly. The anchor.
No, you ain't the anchor. Ironically, the anchor is the fast one.
The last guy.
I should be the anchor, though.
Yeah, you'd be the anchor if it was a tug of war.
Exactly. It's like, hold them down.
Do you guys discuss stuff amongst yourselves much, or?
No, we just kind of shoot off the cuff. I mean, it's a real reality show in that, we come in and it's how we feel. It's not like scripted. We're not actors, so we could even be actors.
It's funny when you say that you're talking about the reality component. Something sticks in my mind when the first part of this season, where people were coming in who were just atrocious.
Right.
And Paula was going, "What do they think they sound good? how could this be? Did you think you sound good? I'm interested. What do you think you sound like?
Well, when you hold an open audition, you could go out on the street here, right?
Sure.
Can anyone out here sing and you have a TV camera? You're going to get some wacko freaks, nutters, man.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you won't be able to tell these people anything because they've already gotten up the nerve to do it.
And, it seemed to me, but you would know a lot better than I would, that season 1, probably not as many of those people as season 2 auditioned.
Well, we only saw about 10,000 people. This time we saw 60 or 70,000 people.
Wow. Oh my God. And so they selected for some interesting people.
Oh, yeah. The whole idea is a cross-section of everything that comes in, so no one can say, well, they turned me away because they thought I might be crazy, or they thought,
They were looking for this type or that type.
Right.
Yeah.
Adam's going to give you an example of his talent.
Wow.
He sings classic
porn theme
from porn in the 70s.
Now, what movie was this?
Taboo 2.
Taboo 2.
He can do more than you'd ever imagine.
Go for it, baby.
Do it with style.
Yeah.
He does it with me.
Wow.
Oh, yes, he does.
Who's he?
He's the guy. His guy's effing his mom and his sister.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Had to ask,
Here's the important
wow,
part.
so important.
Maybe you did, but you don't. See, I don't have the pipes, but I got the attitude.
Yeah, you got it, baby.
He only reveals what he wants you to see.
Wow.
And then shows it all. And when he does, he satisfies me. I pointed to myself where people are...
I think you and Howard Stern should do an album, man.
Yeah,
duets you never wanted to hear.
There's big crescendo here, big crescendo. You'd want him to if you only knew.
They cut you off.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. All right, Randy, what are your thoughts?
Oh, terrible. Absolutely horrible.
Oh,
but you and Howard Stern, the duet album.
And I'll be
Duets nobody wants to hear, man.
Do you think you sound good?
You're jealous,
I'm curious.
Man, what do you know?
Yeah, I'm jealous. What do I know?
Mr. 1,000 Gold Albums.
Yeah.
Cheryl?
Well, the dogs are a little upset here.
Uh-oh.
No, don't do that.
That's true. Oh, it's horrible, right?
Yeah, don't do that.
See? I like this stuff.
Rocco.
She's singing about cough drops.
Ricola.
That's right. The cough drop
All right, enough.
is lamenting the loss of its container.
Yeah. This is a wild show, baby.
All
right.
That's enough. Randy hears enough crappy singing during the day.
Oh, you know that's true.
Give him a break.
God.
Cheryl? Cheryl, you're 19.
Randy's into opera, I can tell. Cheryl.
I love opera.
Cheryl?
All right, let's...
wait, one more time.
No, just pick another call. Screw Cheryl.
All right.
Oh, this is a feel-good call of the month. Tammy?
Tracy,
all right.
Sorry, I wasn't sure if I was there
That's
or not.
all right. Your name is Tracy.
Yeah.
All
All right, here we go. You're on the air.
Okay.
All right, go.
Oh, Mr. That's my question.
Yeah.
I want to know... Okay. I had a son die 6 months ago at 2 months of SIDS.
Mm-hmm.
And you guys were talking about self-mutilation, right?
Yeah.
I got suspended by flesh hooks.
How come?
Which kind of...
Well, wait a second. Hold on a second. Hold on.
To make up...
Wait, quiet down.
Make up
Hold
to
on.
him
Hold
for
on.
the
Hold
pain,
on.
you know?
Hold on.
You suspended yourself.
Yeah,
From meat hooks?
from meat hooks. 6 gauge.
6
force
gauge.
to my back.
Because your son died of SIDS a few months earlier.
Yeah.
Who did this to you?
A friend of mine, somebody who does it professionally.
Does it professionally?
Yeah, it's like some of the heavier tattoo parlors or some of those guys do,
Wow.
How many hooks does it take to suspend you?
4.
4.
Yeah, some of the
Depends on
heavier
your weight.
piercing.
I think it's like 80 pounds a hook, 50 pounds.
And what is this supposed to do for you?
I was hoping for a release
Of what?
of some kind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just...
Never.
You know when you get really angry and you punch the wall?
Yeah, try hitting it.
Okay, now try doubling that.
Yeah, I understand the impulse to sort of take out the aggression upon yourself. But if
intense grief could be treated effectively with this sort of thing, we'd have you do it. But the reality is it doesn't do a thing.
Hold on. You disagree with the meat hook therapy, Drew?
I wish it worked. It'd be a lot simpler than some things we actually have to do.
It's very controversial, your thoughts on this. Hold on a second. Hold on, Tracy. We got to take a break. Listen, I know it's going to sound horrible, but this is...
Mom.
The kid checking out may have been a strategic move on the kid's part with this as mama.
Maybe there is a God.
Meat hook mama. Yeah. I mean, imagine what the next 18 or 19 years would have been like living with meat hook mom and wherever and whoever the dad is. I'm guessing he's not in the scene. Okay, this is crazy. So I want to get to the SIDS thing and then the meat hook thing and all that.
Yeah.
Randy Jackson is in here from American Idol. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Here it is. Bottom line, it sucks being single today. Tons of lame people and no decent prospects. Call the Dateline. Call the Dateline. Call the Dateline.
1-877-889-DATE. LoveLine will be right back. So get your problems ready. Ready.
Hey, everybody, it's the best of LoveLine, and the show rolls on. This is a band that made a bit of a comeback, but never really was too far out
off
of the
screen,
off the scene. That's
Just saw Navarro on doing a cameo on Uptown Girls, a movie.
No, he's hunky, that Dave Navarro.
Playing himself.
Mm-hmm. Perry Farrell's hunky, too. You know what band they're in together?
No. Must be Jane's Addiction.
That's right. LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Now the changing of Jane's
Changing of the
guard.
What's up?
Chris Cheney's here. Dave Navarro is
Hello,
here.
hello.
Saw
Hey,
you
fellas.
guys at the Weenie Roast and thought you rocked. I had a great time.
We thought we did too. Thank you. Thank you.
Night.
We had a great time. Good times, as you say here on the show.
Very nice.
Good times.
And very good on my buddy Jimmy's show, too, as well. That was a nice night.
Jim Kimmel.
Yes, on Friday
Once
night.
again,
Big
good
concert
times.
at the end. Good times.
Good times.
Yeah, so it's got to be nice. And I was just thinking, not to screw with Chris, but Dave, he'd walk around the stage with his shirt off, the guitar hanging down low, and just running all over the place.
Can you believe it? Where do I get the nerve?
I just thought, it's just what a life, I just thought, how cool is it to be cool?
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
I didn't know where this was going.
No, I just thought,
It is, you know what? It is an amazing life we have. And we're so lucky. It's 13 years after the fact. We got the band back together. We're doing great. We've never gotten along better. It's killer. It's killer.
Do you find, just the general sort of been to hell and back and lack of testosterone production has helped everyone getting along? Everyone becomes like a bunch of dogs that have been neutered now?
No, I think what helps us get along is that we all have families.
in a good way.
In a good way.
You have families.
We have families, and Perry says this, and I totally agree with him, is that now we know how to take care of ourselves and in turn take care of others, and then we bring that element back into the band.
Right.
Whereas in the old days, it was totally hedonistic and self-destructive, and that was fun
and
too.
And everyone was high as a kite.
That was fun too. Yeah, we don't shoot drugs anymore, which really helps.
When you can't take care of yourself.
Yeah, I could.
Wise words from the silent Chris Cheney.
Yeah. Yeah, so good. I'm glad to hear that. And it's nice. And, Drew, do you see it? Like back in the day, this didn't seem to work. It seems people seem to be able to pull it off now.
What's that?
What are you talking about?
I just mean like in the past when it seems like bands from the 60s tried to pull it back together to go on tour. Like
they lost their cool.
Here's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would notice this from watching Behind the Music. What would happen is the band would have success. The band then infighting would start.
Sure.
A lot of prima donnas, a lot of substance abuse. The band would self-destruct.
Yeah.
They'd break up.
But those bands were enormous.
Right.
And we never got there. We broke up right before we were about to break big.
Well,
all right, but
that and in those days the addictions ran amok.
Well, I think that's what it is.
Completely unraveled the personality.
The bands would come undone.
They do that these days too.
No, but people can get it together and recover.
6 years later, they try to get it back together for a reunion, whatever, and it would explode again.
Look at the Beach Boys or something like that. You know what I mean? They were all
that's what I'm saying.
A mess by 10 years later.
Thank God that Stamos kid is playing the congas in the background. I think he became the glue that pulled the band back together. All right.
Dave Navarro is considered the Mexican Stamos, by the way.
Oh, really?
You know that?
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, he's often called that.
The Mexican Stamos.
Yeah.
Although I recently purchased an Italian horn, as you can see right here.
Wow.
To create the illusion that perhaps he's Italian.
Oh, really?
Dave has any opinion about the old women that answer the telephone?
Did we talk to him about that?
No, I wonder if he has an opinion about that.
Well, let's hear it.
Well, I think that. Hold on a second. I think who were we talking to about this?
The woman from Legally Blonde 2.
Oh, right.
Reese Witherspoon.
No, Alana Ubach.
Right. Her girlfriend in the show was on the thing, and she's Puerto Rican and Mexican, and I wanted to know.
She's Puerto Rican and Mexican.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's
the double entendre right there.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's rough, but she's
doing well. She's doing good.
Hey, talk about overcoming adversity. But she's really. Hey, she probably collapsed into a heap when she gets home every night. But she really kept a stiff upper lip in here. But I was asking her about this. Now, Dave, I don't know. Is your family speak Spanish? Do they into that whole vibe?
Some of them do. We're all from L.A., so there's very few of us that speak fluent Spanish.
Oh, okay.
But go ahead, bring it.
Well, I work with a lot of Spanish guys because
Mexican guys.
Mexican guys.
Let's call it spade a spade.
I work with a lot of wetbacks, to be honest with you. And siéntate! That's what I yell. I just come into my house and I scream, sit down.
We're going to take a break and we're going to get back into
Actually, I mix it with the Gallete! Siéntate! I think one is like shut up and then sit down. But
let's hear the question.
All right, the question is why is it whenever I call them at their house, an old lady answers the phone, and when I say...
It's because they all live together.
All right, but I go... hello, and they go, hello, and I go, is Roberto there? And they go, who? And I'm like, Roberto, and they go, no, he's not here. And I was picturing someone holding a gun on him, and like waving. I'm like, listen, old lady.
You have to understand. Okay, I can answer that question.
Yeah, why is?
First of all, what was the answer you got from your friend?
From her. She didn't seem to know. She seemed to. They're
because
suspicious.
I know.
She said that's the old ladies. That's the way they are. They're all very suspicious.
But they're suspicious.
Buys some time. The word who buys time.
But I will tell you this: it does buy time, but also there's a lot going on in the background. You got TVs, you got vacuum cleaners,
grease fire,
you got people running around,
stove,
kids looking for their pants because they want to go swimming. It's just nuts.
That's another question I had.
It's nuts.
Do you guys own one pair of trunks, or is it just?
It's just a pair of pants that we take it to the beach and then we go out to dinner.
Here's Mexicans got.
Why change?
They got jeans. They got jeans for walking around, and then they got their swimming jeans, which were cut. They cut 3.5 inches off the bottom, and those are the jeans they swim in. It's like, and the stuff's got to be wet for like 3 weeks after that. I'm
telling you, I've got your answer. I don't know why that is.
They don't like to dry. I realize I see.
But I'm always thinking about the drive home from the beach.
With the sand in your pants.
With the sand in the car, 15 people in the car, and going all the way back to who knows where.
You got denim. You got the underpants hanging out the back. You got 3 buckets of sand hanging on the joint there. Like, yeah. Someone's got to introduce. And it's weird too because I don't know. They're not people. I don't think they could pull the Speedo off too well.
No.
And they're not Speedo people, but someone has to introduce a sort of mid-thigh trunk to them that dries with a nice net lining in there.
It's true.
All right, what were we talking about? All right, so yeah, the Who and then the
Who. I think the Who is buying time, as you said, and also there may be more than one Roberto.
Oh,
you know what I mean? That could be confusing.
Right.
Truthfully.
Right.
And then the second thing is that there's probably kids running around, vacuum cleaners, television's going.
Stuff's going on.
As we went before.
And older minds can't keep track of it.
And they can't hear so well.
Yeah. Right.
And they're probably speaking in the wrong end of the phone.
But then the no, he's not here sounds almost frantic and sort of forced, Maybe they're just selling it.
Maybe.
They have a flair for the dramatic.
Possible.
Yeah.
It's possible.
Anyway, I always feel
they
bad.
Don't know. They're not sure if you're 5-0 or not. I think it's
right. Steve? Your son? I see if my mom could do that one of these days. I'm gonna pick up the phone.
That would be a good trick.
Hello, is Adam
Steve.
there? All right.
Steve, what do you got?
Hey guys, what's happening?
What's happening? What's up?
Hey, just to let you guys know, Kayate, I work with Mexicans too. Kayate doesn't mean shut up.
Oh, yeah. And what's...
We knew that.
Yeah, sit down. What's sit down? Okay.
I don't know. I didn't know how to ask for more forks and knives and
Hey, language, Steve, come on, man.
Plus, with the stereotyping of our Latino brothers. I've heard enough.
I happen to be Latino, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, that's why he can say what he says. And I happen to work with them, so I can say what I want. Siéntate! Jennifer?
Grandes éxitos en español.
Jennifer.
All right.
What?
Hi, Jennifer.
Oh. Hello.
You're talking to Dave and Chris Chaney of Jane's Addiction with the new album Strays. What's your question?
Okay, well, my question was, why do I have so much confidence in myself, like the way I look, when really I'm not that good looking?
You're fat.
Oh, Drew, please.
Because
hold on a second.
Explain.
Can you really do that,
sweetheart? Just be happy that you have it. Believe me.
I mean, you have
you're confident.
Your self-esteem. You have very high self-esteem, right?
But it's not getting me anywhere.
Well, wait a minute. There's two types of feminine self-esteem. There's the sort of feeling empowered and feeling strong, and then there's the one you get from a lot of drunk guys wanting to F you constantly, you know?
Right.
I get the feeling that you're calling from Bakersfield. This is more the drunk guys wanting to F you self-esteem.
Is it, or is it just that your parents built adequate self-esteem? It doesn't matter to her what she looks like.
Well, a lot of guys hit on me. A lot of guys.
You see, I got
what?
I got this.
Let's just face it. You're smoking. Sign up to Friendster.
No, I think it's more like, I like a bitch with a big ass. Come here. Is it that kind of thing?
Me?
Yeah. How you built?
I'm thick.
You big gal.
Yeah.
All right. And you got a lot of guys hitting on you.
Yeah.
Where do you meet these guys?
I don't really meet guys. Like, I've only had 2 boyfriends, but they haven't worked out, so I've just given up on guys right now.
Let me ask you a question.
Uh-huh.
Why is this a problem?
Yeah, what's your question?
Why am I so scared of guys? Like, my confidence...
What's going on with Dad, hon? Let's get into that one. What's going on with Dad?
Dave said some therapy. The only Mexican in the United States that had any therapy at all. That all went to one Mexican. Crazy. What's up? Yeah, where's Dad?
My dad?
Yeah.
Well, I have a stepdad, but...
No, your biological dad.
Yeah.
My real dad, I have no idea.
How old were you when he left?
I never... He wasn't even there for my birth.
And do we know anything about him?
No.
How's your
stepdad?
Yeah. My stepdad, well, I was brought up thinking he was my dad, and then they told me a couple years later he wasn't my dad. I mean, I was adopted by him and everything.
How was he?
But it sounds to me like you have like a natural understanding or fear of betrayal and abandon.
But the stepdad wasn't so hot either.
It was stepdad.
That's what betrayal.
Was he a decent guy?
My stepdad?
Yes.
No, I really hate him.
Okay, there we go.
Explain.
There you go. See, Dave got to it. Why do you hate the guy so much?
I was young. Things happened.
He sexually abused her?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
There you go.
Well, let's not rush to judgment.
That's why people get big sometimes, too, to protect themselves and keep people pushed away.
It's true.
Yeah, but, I mean, I'm big and I'm still confident, but I get up.
Yeah, you know what, Jennifer, you're not confident, you're angry. You're like hostile and aggressive. That's not confident.
Well, how do I fix
That's
this?
bravado.
How do I fix this?
And that's keeping people away from you. That's not actually really being close
Jennifer,
to people.
here's the thing. If your how long does this go on with your stepfather?
Maybe like 5 years.
All right.
Do you still stay in touch with him?
Excuse me?
Do you still stay in touch with him?
No, not really.
Good. You don't live at home?
No.
Okay, you're living on your own.
Well, I'm living with friends.
How old are you?
I'm 18.
All right, so here's the plan, Jennifer.
Get into some therapy, Jen.
Yeah.
Write him a letter of everything you don't, or just everything about him that you wish you never did.
Yeah, and then don't bother sending it. That's worthless.
Or do that.
And send it.
Excuse me?
Hey, Jennifer.
Excuse me?
Don't listen to Chris.
He's drunk, people.
He's been drinking some red wine.
Yeah, I kind of thought so.
Okay.
Seriously, I would recommend some therapy because that's something that can be overcome, and it might explain the food thing. And
It's pretty heavy. It's pretty heavy trauma. And,
no pun intended.
And right now what that creates is an intolerance of closeness. And in order for you to feel the capacity for closeness again, it's going to require some kind of recovery and some kind of relationship that's genuine. And it's not going to happen in your romantic relationships. You're going to continue to be aggressive and push people away in that sphere.
Well, through this, I've gotten really, really close to my mom.
All right. Well, that's good. So you got a relationship going. Maybe that's why you feel sort of good enough to call and ask.
Good, but did Mom know what was going on?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. But are you mad at her for letting it happen?
That's got to be an issue.
She didn't know, so I totally understand.
She didn't know at the time. So
she didn't know at the time.
But the capacity to forgive mom is actually a healthy one. But I totally agree with Dave. If...
All right, here's. I'll just give you. Let's talk realistically here. Don't get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Amen.
Nate, number one job.
Amen.
Do not get pregnant. Number two, start a career, start a life, get on with your life. And number three, I don't know if you can afford individual counseling. It doesn't sound like you can.
I'm trying to think of a 12-step program.
Find a group, open the phone book, survivors of incest, rape, whatever. Get involved with it with a group that's something.
There's definitely groups
that's
out there
cheap,
for this.
and just start the
Free.
process.
There's groups
just
that are
begin
free.
the process. That's all. And as far as I'm confident, I'm angry, I'm this, I'm that. I got a fat ass. Dudes like me. Don't start. Don't dissect that. Don't think. All you stop thinking. Let Dave do the thinking. All right? You're all on Dave's bus. Let him drive.
It all went to him. All the therapy.
Every therapy for all of Mexico.
If you're Hispanic, you're out of luck.
It all went funneled into Dave. He used it all up. He's the world's healthiest Mexican.
You good, Jen? You know what to do?
She knows.
She knows.
Okay, she's gone.
No, she can hear us.
Yeah. Okay, great.
All right. Let Dave drive. That's my point. Cheryl?
Yeah.
You're 24?
Yes.
What's up?
I guess I got in a car accident last November, and my husband and I just got married last July. And ever since I've been in the accident, I can't feel anything for him. Like, I love him to death, but I'm not in love with him.
Was he driving?
No, he actually wasn't in the car.
He wasn't in the car.
Did you have a head injury?
Yeah. I got rear-ended by a guy going almost 50 miles an hour. Had my car totaled.
Were you stopped, you mean?
There was rush hour traffic downtown Minneapolis, and some guy didn't have brake lights. So everybody tapped everybody. That was okay. It was bearable. And then the guy behind me wasn't paying attention. So when he hit me, I, took all the impact, and he hit me hard enough that when I hit the car in front of me again, my airbags went off.
Let me ask you a question. How did your husband treat you after this happened? Was he there for you?
When he came and picked me up, he really didn't say anything.
There you go.
That explains a lot of it.
Yeah.
Well, now, so did you have a concussion?
Right to the source there.
Oh, yeah. I actually went to neuropsychologist, and I guess apparently when your two sides of your brain are measured, there shouldn't be more than a point difference between your left and your right.
Right.
Does that sound right? And there's 6 points.
Which side's not working?
Well, what I was told is that I have a frontal lobe injury.
Oh boy.
Can I just interject here about the love element of this call, which is if my partner wasn't there for me after a traumatic situation like that, I would rethink some things. And it would be pretty natural.
Yeah. However, frontal lobe, particularly right frontal lobe injuries, can make it extremely difficult to have attachment. And it can make, they have tremendous personality changes. They seem sort of flat. They can't contain their impulses, and they don't attach normally. They don't connect to people normally.
So that's her perception.
That's her brain.
But let me ask you this. Is this happening with other people or just the husband?
This is just, the weird thing is that this is just happening with him. I can't seem to love him. I have lust towards other people, but I don't want
It's called a Kluver-Bucy syndrome. They get hypersexual, but they don't connect. They don't have attachments and things.
Exactly. I don't want to.
Have you acted?
Too bad, right?
Yeah, and this can go on for a while. They put you on a medication for this, Tegretol or anything like that?
No, I was. The only medication I got put on after that was Effexor.
Okay.
Because I was having a lot of.
There's typically depression with this.
Well, why Effexor? Oh, because of the depression.
And it's has multiple avenues of. It's not a serotonin deficiency; it's a diffuse brain injury, and so.
So, have you talked to anybody about this?
But it doesn't seem that Effexor would necessarily. I mean, I'm just talking to you here.
It might not. It might not help. It certainly won't help with this attachment issue.
That's what I'm saying.
But time will. You got. It's only been 8 months, some of that. Oof.
Yeah.
How's your husband taking it?
Well, we had another talk last night, and I told him how I felt again, and he basically said, I've been raping you for the last, 7 months because you don't want to be with me, and he's having a real tough time. He won't even look at me.
I can't think of the titles offhand, but I know there are a couple of books out there about this, of what happens to couples when there's been a brain injury and how to try to reattach and form new attachments, and it's challenging. It is really challenging.
Does he understand that there's a medical situation going on here and it's not just you rejecting him?
He came with me to the neuropsychologist, and he explained it to him, and so he said he understood, but when I brought it up again last night, he's like, I don't think it's your accident.
Wow. See, he can't. It's hard for people just because you look like the same person and you act the same. He can't comprehend that you've had a marked change in your subjective experience.
And listen, he's as Dave tapped into early in the call before all the neuro stuff started going on. She's angry. I mean, he's not helping his case at all by not only is she sort of
now he's the victim all of a sudden.
He's neurologically pissed off in terms of the brain injury, but she's also pretty pissed off at him. Just emotionally.
Because he won't accept what's happening.
And he's becoming the victim in the situation.
Right.
What about me? What about me?
Right.
When you're the one who had the tragedy.
Right.
Well, that's actually what he said last night. He's like, what about me?
Did they recommend any treatment at the neuropsychiatrist? Neuropsychologist?
You were on it. No, I'm actually going back to see him again on Thursday because I don't know what to do anymore.
Well, you obviously need a little couples work here, and you should be working with a psychologist that really understands the complexity of your neurologic situation.
That's the thing, and I did start seeing a therapist a couple weeks ago because I have other underlying issues that, kind of have added to everything.
Such as? What are those?
Well, he still has a real problem. I told him after we started dating that I lost my virginity because I was raped.
Yeah.
And he was just kind of like, well, I think girls are too quick to call it rape. And that's all he's ever said about it.
So he's being insensitive about a number of issues here.
Wow.
Well, I
think it's pretty obvious why you're withdrawing
Maybe
from
this
him.
head injury knocked some sense into her. She's actually seeing what a jerk this
it
guy
doesn't seem
is.
like you're so wild about him in the first place. Yeah.
Those are two traumatic things that he's been insensitive to you, and this guy's supposed to be your lifetime partner.
I know, and I think I'm the kind of person, I felt bad for him because I know he didn't have a great life growing up. And
It's not your responsibility. Codependent no more, my Melanie Beattie.
Yeah.
Pick it up.
Yeah. And he should read the Idiot's Guide to Raping Your Wife if she's had a brain injury.
And while we're on it, she should read that book, too.
Joe Bangman.
If you know that story, right?
All right. Well, we never had that call before.
Yeah, and I've heard those stories before. They're tough.
But look, at first it was like it's an emotional thing, then it was a brain injury, then it started to bleed back into the emotional side.
Right.
She's angry at this guy.
It's got a lot of elements to this.
Yeah. So, I don't know. This, by the way, you don't get married at 22. It just doesn't work.
Didn't work for me.
It doesn't work for anybody, really, unless you're really super stupid and you got nothing going on in your life. But if you're the world's
or
smartest
if there's big
Mexican,
money involved, big money, big dollars.
Yeah.
In that case, it's acceptable.
Let's take ourselves a little break. Chris Chaney's here, Dave Navarro. We'll take ourselves a break. We'll be right back.
LoveLine.
LoveLine.
We'll be right back. LoveLine is brought to you by Trojan, America's #1 condom, the most trusted for over 80 years. LoveLine. LoveLine. With Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew. 105 Alternative. San Francisco.
LoveLine on 94.7 NRK. LoveLine. 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 LoveLine.
Well, that was the first half of Best of LoveLine and also Jane's Addiction. Yeah, well, maybe it's the 2/3 point of the Best of LoveLine, but who's counting? Let's get to the second half of Jane's Addiction.
Hey, everybody, it's LoveLine. I'm Adam. That's Dr. Drew. Stephen Perkins is here, along with Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction. And do you get hit on a lot by managers and record reps and stuff like that?
I have a weekly dumping of my CDs where I have my assistant just take all the CDs that are in my pockets and in my ears and in my suitcase, and I bring it up to Aaron's Records.
I was going to say, out front, I just got 2 demos for the next year's Lollapalooza tour.
Oh, really?
I don't think
But I listen to him first.
You do. Well, if you shoot skeet, you can probably incorporate
yeah, you can shoot them. Yeah.
It always pisses me off when you go to the used record place and you see some CD you like, and it's like it's $9.
It says for Perry.
It's $9.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because
then you try to sell yours, and they go, "We can give you 80 cents."
Yeah.
Or we can give you like $1.10.
We'll charge 10.
Yeah, what is that? I mean, give me half the price you're gonna ask for.
Yeah.
I mean, like when you bring a used car in, you don't get $10,000. They sell it for $80,000.
Exactly.
You get $10,000. They sell it for $13,000, right?
Well, you know what I used to do? I used to autograph the records that I was handing in because I always need the money for junk.
Well, I was going to say,
so I figured if I autograph it, they'd give me more, and they did.
You see a lot of Janes and porno records in those used stores, and because our fans had to trade them in for their drug use.
Oh, really?
So that was the trade-off. They buy the records, they bring them back. It's,
Yeah, I guess it's sort of like a pawn shop.
Exactly.
Sweet. That's nice.
Sweet.
All right.
Do you feel bad for the people that hand you all the CDs? What do you feel?
No. And as a matter of fact, to reiterate, there's some groups out there that I couldn't fit on the bill.
No, but I'm sure people give you CDs out on the street, probably. I mean,
well, they do. Yeah, I mean,
you feel
like
a responsibility to listen to them.
No, because
you feel
because
bad
I was
for them. I mean,
I don't feel bad for them because I was once a kid doing the exact same thing, and I would mail, CDs to Iggy Pop, and I never heard from him, and I still love him, of course. But because you got to figure. You have to take your time, and you have to take your place, and there's a long line.
So you'd encourage them to keep doing that.
Heck yeah.
Keep handing stuff out. Even though you're going to use them as Frisbees and ski.
Well, sometimes you do, you hold on to one or two that you like, and you keep,
Here's the deal.
There it is.
The deal is this. I do listen to them. I'll throw it on there just because I am interested to see what, a cat will sound like. However, there's so many things that a person needs to do to build themselves into this business, amongst other things like getting a great management in place and paying your dues in clubs and playing for a number of years so people know who you are, recognize you, and it can spread, message about, hey, you got to check them out. So just trying to, kind of jump the fence. You gotta love a kid for trying.
Got it.
Well, you gotta love a kid for trying.
Got it.
Yeah.
All
right. Let's take some calls. By the way, Strays is the name of the new CD. Speaking of giving away all the CDs, I don't see it in here. We supposed to have one?
Absolutely not. We're not giving.
No,
not to us.
You do that one where you do the saw notch in it, so you couldn't possibly sell it. But you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The weird notchy thing?
That saw.
Yeah. Tina?
Hi.
You're 18?
Yeah.
What's up?
Hi. I just ended my period, and I feel something like hard inside of me, and I'm not sure if it's my tampon because I don't remember. And like I try to take it out, and it really, really hurts. And like I'm gonna go to the gynecologist tomorrow.
Good.
I couldn't today, but I was wondering if I can get it stuck inside of me, and I cannot feel the string at all.
Well, believe it, it's a bunch of guys sitting around the table here, but the reality is that happens all the time.
Really?
And doctors have to fish stuff out very commonly. It's not a big deal.
But I'm more curious about the part where she doesn't know. She can't remember if it's in there.
You think you could keep track of that? Think about yourself.
If I had something up my ass, I'd know when it was in there.
If you had to keep track of something.
I don't have a vagina.
Some hygiene you were dealing with.
What do you
I
mean?
once had a crack pipe up my ass, and I forgot about it.
Really?
Yes.
And I'll vouch
So don't feel too bad, honey. And that's a true story.
I think I hit off that.
But Tina, there are a couple of things. One is if you tonight get a fever or rash, go to emergency room immediately because this kind of thing can predispose to toxic shock syndrome.
Yeah.
Number one. Number two, there is kind of a technique for trying to get this out if you guys are prepared for that.
I'd like to hear it. I was picturing Perry farting and killing someone with a hash pipe screen.
I'll vouch for that.
But it was crack pipe.
It was a crack
Pardon
pipe.
me.
It was shards of glass. What are you talking about?
All right.
Thing
That's
fired
right.
out.
Very dangerous. But let's hear how to get this out.
Yeah. Compressed
Tina,
air, I'm guessing.
if you squat down and then sort of reach in with your push down and sort of reach in with your hand, with 2 fingers if you can do that. Sometimes you can kind of scoop out of there. Okay.
Okay.
Give that a shot, and if don't do anything. If it hurts, lay back. Just don't go on in tomorrow.
Can you
Either
see?
case.
Can you see? No. You can't even if. I had a carbuncle dangerously close to where Perry stashed his crack pipe, and I couldn't see it. Like you can't really see it. But
I can't see it.
But I did this thing where I put my feet up on this glass mirror, this wardrobe mirror, and then I bounced the flashlight off the glass and into my ass. And I could see it perfectly. It's how they got light into the pyramids.
Then he got a robotic arm and started doing surgery on it.
It worked. But the point is can't a woman use my same flashlight and mirror technique?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Can't see up
it's
there?
too far. Yeah.
Don't try.
All right. Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck, Tina.
Good luck.
You want to know what I thought was a cute idea and it could actually work for people like Tina is that the tampon string gets lost or breaks off or gets caught up. It's kind of more the string's like cotton. It can get
You
moist
had a
and
brilliant
stuff.
idea for this.
You've got a new.
I have novelty things that you hang off the string. Like one of my
Animal
ideas was a
tails.
rat tail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If it totally like freak a guy out.
Raccoon tail.
completely.
Cat tail.
Just bizarre. Just a decorative like lamp things. I mean, just
How about like a fortune cookie thing?
A rabbit's foot?
So people can read while they're down there.
or different like maybe
Some people can't
Tassels.
read and drive at the same time.
Tassels.
graduation tassel. Perhaps if you have a charity like AIDS or something like that, you hang their breast cancer, you hang the appropriate ribbon color off there.
Ooh.
Pay us, yes, for the Jewish girls. Yeah, this would be great.
This is not bad.
Adam, this is the best idea you ever had.
Comes in a gift pack with the rat's tail and the payas and all that stuff, and then you just clip it on to your existing thing. It sets you apart. Women are always looking for a sense of style, individuality. This is how they do it.
Start there.
Yeah,
and they always claim to have a good sense of humor.
Right.
This is a chance to really establish that.
Claim.
I'm just thinking, how if you were drunk and the chick got naked and you just saw the rat's tail hanging out, how freaked would you be? Drew, you get one of those for your
It's
daughter.
a great way for I guess prevention of any kind of sexual advance.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am giving my daughter these. You're right.
Daniel,
Hey,
you're 15?
yeah.
What's up?
I just wanted to know what the best way to ask a girl out was.
What do you think, Perry? You have any ideas on this?
Just do it!
Just do it.
Listen.
Well, Perry, I think they ask you out, don't they?
Well, they have. Yes, they have. But I will tell you the best approach is, kid, walk up to him as a gentleman and have confidence and have courage, because I think that men and women will follow a man with courage. So that's your best bet. That's your best shot.
Yeah, if you seem sort of skittish, they're gonna. Drew, what are you doing? Can't get your mic back on?
Yeah,
he's taking notes on what Perry's given.
If you seem sort of skittish, they're not gonna pay any heed to you. I fixed. I think I fixed that. Drew's
Confidence.
mic. Yeah. Who you asking?
Courage.
What? I'm asking the girl.
Okay, let's make believe she's here.
That's right.
Let's
Let's hear it. Let's hear
Perry,
it.
you be the girl.
Okay.
All right. What's
All
her
right.
name?
Her name's Tasha.
Tasha.
Okay. All right.
All right. Go
Tasha.
ahead.
Okay.
Where are you at school, Daniel?
Yeah.
When you ask her out, you're going to go
Okay.
through her at school.
I'm writing on my book and I'm drawing some flowers.
Go ahead.
Peachy folder.
Okay.
Tasha, I've liked you for a while. I want to know.
Nope. Stop. No.
That's the bum rush.
Yeah.
That's not courage.
You know what? I was drawing some flowers. I heard this voice over my shoulder, and then there he was, and he just started giving me his love speech.
Yeah. Don't give her what you're feeling about her. Just
a little humor too,
and a little mystery.
You know, a lot of guys that aren't that good looking get girls just on their humor alone.
Yeah,
So
that's what they
little
tell me.
humor goes a long way.
Go ahead, Daniel. Try it again.
Try tickling her. Tickle her.
Show her the
So
rat
give her-
tail.
Yeah, no. Daniel, give her a little tickle under the arm, so she'll giggle, turn around, look up, and there you are. And what are you gonna say? Hey, gorgeous, what's going on, right?
Haha. So just sort of be straightforward, but humorous at the same time.
Yeah, but you know what? Make the
lighthearted.
Make the thing relaxing. Because what you're doing is you're giving this woman, on your words, she's going for a ride through the life of Daniel, and she wants to enjoy the ride with you.
In Daniel's mom's car.
You know what I mean?
By the way.
She doesn't want to have a ride that's going to be, compressing her and repressing her. She wants to have a ride that's delightful and fun and titillating.
In the Lincoln Continental.
She's sharing life, the ride of life, of Daniel's life. You get it?
All right, Daniel. Let's
All
try,
right,
let's
Daniel.
try it one more time.
Take all that and give it your best shot.
You ready? And action.
Okay, so I tickle you under the arm,
Right.
and you giggle.
That's right.
Well, hold on. Giggle. Perry.
And she calls for
Daniel, what are
security.
you doing?
Go ahead.
He's never spoken to her before, mind you.
Drew, shut up. You're bumming Daniel's groove. Now go ahead, Daniel.
Hi, Daniel.
Hey, beautiful, how you doing?
Oh, thank you. You are on your way, Daniel.
Keep going.
I like you. I mean, I'm just drawing. What are you doing?
I was just talking to you.
Nice.
Much better.
Daniel is about to.
So you think I'm beautiful?
Yeah, I do. I wanted to know if you wanted to be my girlfriend.
No.
Daniel, bad move. Bad move.
Bad move. Okay.
No, you want to just spend a little time with her.
First, tell her that you think braces are gorgeous.
Yeah.
And pigtails too.
Never
You were on because when you tell a girl she's gorgeous, that's a rating of 80 to start with. So
Okay.
you need 20 more % of smoothness, relax. It's just like sex, Daniel. One day when you'll have it, you never want to rush in and finish too quick.
Yeah.
It's all about pacing because women are long-paced creatures. You got it?
Yeah.
Hey,
All right, my man.
Daniel, your form,
So
everything's
relax.
fine with your form except for the part where you want to go steady, be the girlfriend too early, or telling you how you've been feeling about her for a long time. You got to pretend like, here's what you have to do. I'm putting him on hold. He can still hear us.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you ask a girl out, they don't want to know that you've been thinking about it for the last month and a half.
Right.
They want you to think that you've been walking down the hall thinking about something else. You spotted them
Right.
and decided to ask them out.
Spontaneous.
So when you hit them with all that stored up energy, like I've been staring at you in my homeroom for 6 years and I've already beat off to you 17,000 times.
Just doesn't hold water.
Then you just hit them with the bum rush and it freaks them out. You got to go that, by the way, like sort of never noticed you before,
right.
but
You're looking
how about
good.
it?
It's the Persian cat thing again.
Yeah. And Daniel,
you
you
gotta wait for
know,
the cat to come to you.
all those things that you want to tell her, you can tell her with your eyes, but not with your mouth. So you can look at her right in the eye and say, you know, I want to have been going out with you for 6 years. But then what you can say is, how you doing, gorgeous?
And don't forget the eyebrows.
Yeah, you got to move them.
Use the
move 'em
brows.
frantically.
Yeah, because you'll then
The
because
Richter scale.
you don't want to get into it too quick because she might shut you down and it'll hurt your feelings. Check her out, see her reactions. You know, then you'll have a much better gauge if she wants to go out with you.
No.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good luck with you and Daniel and Tasha.
Brandy. 19.
I like what I used to do in high school is I would, whenever you bend over, your sunglasses fall out of your chest pocket there.
Of course.
I would just put a huge sack of cocaine and $100 bills with a tied up in a
Definitely.
twist tie, and I would just bend over and just have that stuff fall out.
The high school days?
Humiliated. Yeah, that's what I do. All right.
That was good.
Brandy? Oh, they love. Well, this is the '80s, Brandy. Brandy, you're 19. What's up?
Yeah, I had a question about sex.
Sex?
All right, this is the place.
That's right. Okay, well, I have a boyfriend, and recently we've been trying a new position. Well, actually, I've only slept with him once, but in the night I slept with him, we tried a new position, and I got on top of him.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I, straddled him, I was straddling him, but every time I, stroked him and went down, it was like I felt a popping.
Mm-hmm.
You broke his penis.
That was his penis popping?
Yes.
No, because we tried another position after, and it still worked, so it wasn't broke. But it was weird.
Is it a popping from moisture,
No.
or is it a popping from an internal
cracking?
It was it was like a cracking, but it was up in my abdomen.
Oh,
Well, there's two possibilities.
What was it coming from him or coming from you?
Or could you
From
tell?
me.
You sure?
Yeah, it was inside my body, and he couldn't feel it, he couldn't hear it or anything, and it didn't hurt me, but it was just kind of weird and uncomfortable.
Well, you probably just were flipping your uterus or hitting the round ligament. That's nothing.
Yeah.
You can crack his penis. There's a ligament there that holds the penis up that'll crack.
But not,
you can do that.
I can do that, but not multiple times. I get
You're double cracking jointed penis.
Those days are behind me. But I can get the one in the morning sometimes. If I push it down hard enough at that morning wood. It's usually when I'm trying to launch a ball of tube socks toward the hamper. It's a little game I play. But it will get one good crack. You guys never done that? One good crack.
Where's that doing sound?
Yeah. But not multiple cracks.
Where is it?
She's just, what's she doing, flipping her uterus?
Yeah, is she healthy up there?
That's the one.
Well,
it could be. I got to bring the pictures out.
Is it tilted? Or I heard that before.
Yeah.
The tilted uterus?
Yeah.
Drew's going to pull out
He's taking out the anatomy book.
Yeah, I don't want to see it, by the way.
I know, Adam doesn't. It's very delicate sensibilities.
Well,
So, Brandy, that's never happened to you before?
No,
here you go, guys. Hold on, gentlemen. Hold on a second. So she's going in here and it hits this, and it kind of flips. It'll flip. It'll move.
Wow.
So it hits, flips, hits, flips.
Okay.
Sort of straightens it out.
So the position you're in is letting your body open up to the point where it flips your
Does
uterus.
it hurt Is it hurting you? Or are you discouraged?
No, I'm not.
Oh, cool.
It was
There you go.
weird, It's like I didn't know if I was just like going to burst or something.
No, you're not going to break.
Why don't you put on loud music?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you won't hear it anymore. It's fine.
It's fine.
Well,
be careful. I suggest be careful in that position. But
I would,
But
too.
continue having sex with
Are
your
you a
boyfriend.
dainty gal? Are you a small gal?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I got small hips and that, and well, he was actually very large.
Well, there you go.
Very, very large.
Well, there it is.
Yeah.
What's nice about that? Ooh, a woman getting hurt by a penis. Nice.
It's funner to watch heavyweights fight than flyweights, It's just something more exciting about that haymaker, I don't know. I always wish that I could do some damage with my penis.
I see, right.
All right. I guess I could take out, I could detach a retina or something if I got a running start. But, I like these stories where the women say, the guy's penis essentially became like a crowbar, he's really it's a weapon,
Yeah. It's like a spinning top.
My,
A whip.
My fantasy for my penis would be, once in a while I see the porn movie where the guy's got a full handful at the base and still plenty enough to use.
Sure.
He's sort of, at that point, it becomes an instrument. You know what I mean? As opposed to sort of obscuring it with your hand where you really can grab onto it and sort of aim it.
Few of us have a weapon in our hands.
Yeah.
There was a time in the early days with me and Perry when we just wore towels for about a year as the whole band, and we always got to notice or check if we were, like you said, holding and crowbarring and double jointed and
So
all
you
that.
got a pretty
we
good
got to know
idea.
each other. Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people think this is gay, but I could definitely recognize my best friends by their penis. I mean, if they stuck them through a hole in the piece of plywood and lined them all up,
Like they did for you during many encounters.
True. How dare you? I could go run around and put names to each penis, and I think I'd get them right. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Would you post
Drew
it?
goes by
hang
taste.
it.
How dare you? Yeah, I would hang it on the erect penis. I think we'd just use Velcro and put it over the penis. Okay. But we could possibly hang it on the
It is
penis.
time for the next question.
Not gay. Not gay, right?
We got to take a break.
He's gay.
No, that's super straight.
Yeah, ultra straight. But
Ultra straight
comes around the other side, becomes gay eventually.
So comfortable with my heterosexuality that I could actually
blow a guy.
announce that.
Yeah.
I could blow a guy and swallow. That's how comfortable I am.
That's good.
All right, Jane's Addiction in studio tonight. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back.
LoveLine will be right back, so get your problems ready.
Hey, yo, it's the best of LoveLine. I'm Adam. That is Dr. Drew. Coming up next is a dear friend.
With his own driving shoes, if I remember right.
That's right. Josh Brolin.
Tommy Shane Steiner is in here tonight. Josh Brolin is in here tonight. I was reading Tommy's bio, and your dad is a rodeo champion.
Yeah, he was a world champion bull rider in 1973.
Gonna kick my dad in the nuts one time. For you and your dad, too, Tommy. Wow. And your grandfather's like in the bull riding Hall of Fame?
No, he's in the Rodeo Hall of Fame and the Cowboy Hall of Fame.
Still going to get another kick in the nuts.
Your dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure.
And his brother.
My brother is
just won the championship.
Steer wrestling this year.
Tommy, your brother's just...
steer wrestler.
That's going to be just sort of a limp finger to the penis. I'm not a full kick to the nuts. Like, he's still family, still some influence.
The kids still do the limp finger
The
thing?
limp finger,
Come on.
pow.
Come on. Do they still do that?
I don't know if they do that,
used to
but
do that as
my
kids.
dad's going to get one of those right in the joint.
The nuts.
Yeah, or if I could do it, I'd glick on him. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You do
Squirting
that
your
thing where
your
you...
sublingual glands.
Yeah. So
Nice.
You had that growing up.
Oh, we did that, of course.
Now, Josh, did you have that when you were growing up?
Did I limp?
Where you could
No,
squirt dad's nuts?
that glick thing where people would do that thing with their
Gleek.
tongue and
Yeah,
gleek and shoot.
Everybody
that.
always did that to me, and I never could. I never could do that.
I couldn't either.
It always happens on accident, like when I get a hamburger or something.
Or
I'm
you
just about to-
yawn.
yeah, and I yawn, and I'm like,
Yeah, it's good. It's good first date. It's a good first date maneuver. You say the word eagle, and it all of a sudden something comes flying out of your mouth.
Oh, damn. Josh just did it to me right now.
Josh gave Tommy the gleek.
The thing is, how did you guys stopped at gleek for about 5 minutes and went right on to urinating on each other, right?
Well, it was more effective than
more volume. More volume.
Sure. You got to raise the stakes.
Molly.
Hi.
Hey.
What's up?
I have a question. Me and my boyfriend have sex because he's going into the Army. He's going to be gone for a year.
Mm-hmm.
Get
on your knees, scumbag!
And whenever we have sex afterwards, I always have a cut down below.
Mm-hmm.
Is that from an affection or?
Is it towards the backside?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's usually just an irritation or a tear.
What's the backside? Towards the anus
Anusburg,
there?
yeah.
Ooh, yeah, it's bad times.
Yeah.
Or a tear? Can you explain that?
You can tear. I mean, just like that's what happens when you're delivering a baby. You rip wide open.
I know, but a baby's 10
Well, they're from successive irritation, basically. They'll get little tiny cracks and tears down.
I always wanted to be that big.
Yeah.
Me too. Is he big, Molly?
It's not all that good.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm kicking my dad again if that's true.
It's not all it's cracked up to be, Josh.
Whatever.
Hey, you saying he's not that big, or he is?
He is.
He is. All right. What about some lubrication?
We never use it.
All right, well,
there you go.
Add that in.
You got to break down.
Yeah.
All right. And where's he going? Is he going into the Middle East, or is he just going into basic, or where's he going?
Going to Baghdad.
Is he Middle Eastern?
Going to Baghdad?
Yeah.
He is, really?
Yeah.
And he's going to be there for a year.
Yeah.
All right. Good times.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Seems sort of the jury's out on him going to the Middle East for a year. I know they're very concerned over there in Iraq about who the person who governs over their country is, and they want to make sure it's another Iraqi. But I've been giving it some thought and thought maybe they ought to let us make this call
for a little while.
Well, we gave them the last call, and we ended up with Hitler with Ned Flanders' mustache and a beret. Maybe we ought to just go ahead and make this one. Yeah? Yeah? What do you think?
No, not all right.
I don't know. Evan?
Hey, what's up?
You're 21?
Yep.
What's up?
My girlfriend has a pretty strong gag reflex, so whenever she's giving me head, she kind of, she gags. And
yeah.
So it makes her feel uncomfortable. It kind of takes away from the blowjob. We were watching this thing about sword swallowing, and this woman was saying that she used a coat hanger to file this thing down in her throat in order to more easily swallow the sword.
She used a coat hanger?
Yeah.
That's what she said, or something like it. And
I've had several girlfriends do that.
Use coat hangers. That's nice.
To file that part.
That doesn't seem safe at all.
That's commitment.
It makes it a lot better for you, doesn't it? If you use it. Have you used the coat hanger yet?
No, I'm asking if there's an easier way, or
have you asked her if she wants to use the coat hanger yet to make it easier for you to
I don't think I have to ask her.
enjoy it?
She wants to. I don't think she wants to do that, but she does want to be more comfortable. And I was wondering if there are any other ways that might be easier.
No, the coat hanger is the only way.
That's just the way the doctors recommend, Evan.
I don't know that changing your uvula and palate is going to change the gag reflex.
What do you think she was scraping down?
With a coat hanger.
That's what she.
What's in charge of your gag reflex, Drew?
Nerves. It's the nerves back there.
Well, what are you
I think
hitting?
she was following nerve endings.
Okay. So she was just kind of trying to deaden them up, get a little, put some cells on them.
Maybe the deal is, she's just sort of knocking things back there to try to customize,
get used to it.
I'm sorry, does anybody find that to be a turn on?
No.
The gagging?
Oh, the gagging.
Oh, no,
I'm not talking about the coat hanger, man.
I would appreciate a little sympathy gag every once in a while.
It is a sympathy gag, isn't
it makes your penis look bigger, doesn't it?
Well,
yes,
that's the whole point.
Does seem that way. Yeah, like I can't.
Not for the last girl.
I mean, I've never had a gag, even with a running start.
Is she able to brush her teeth and things without gagging?
Running from the opposite end of the room.
It's not a hugely bad gag reflex. It's just enough to cause some problems.
All right.
What's the problem, man?
Yeah, I think there's a way that she can work on this, but I don't think a coat hanger's a great thing.
Humming.
I mean, she should use her finger or something.
Yeah, is there anything else besides a coat hanger?
I think one there's produce and things like that one could work with.
Toothbrush, even.
Yeah, toothbrush. All right. Once in a while, you ever brush your tongue? I get that gag thing.
Oh, yes.
I didn't know you were supposed to brush your tongue until I was like 34, by the way.
You didn't know you're supposed to brush your teeth.
You didn't know you were supposed to brush the front part of your tongue instead of way, way back to test your gag reflex.
Yeah, I always feel retarded. It's always funny once in a while when you ever go for that drunken toothbrush and you almost heave when you go for the tongue, and then you look at yourself in the mirror and your eyes are all watering, and you say never again, dude, and you actually say it, and then the next night you say, dude, I thought you said never again, and you're like, hey, dude, that wasn't this, dude.
Back to it.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back to wrap up after this.
Okay, so I know there's nothing wrong with me. So what's up?
So I was like you, and I used to think that these Datelines were totally cheesy.
Why can't I meet anybody?
But I tried everything else and thought, what the hell? So I called the Dateline and actually met a cool guy.
I called the Dateline and I hooked up with some cool people.
Believe it or not, other normal people are out there looking too.
877-889-DATE.
1-800-LOVE-191. We'll be right back.
Well, that's it for the best of LoveLine. But don't worry, there's always tomorrow. Unless it's Thursday, in which case there is a tomorrow, but that's Friday, but LoveLine's not on. Well, you get the picture. Tomorrow night, Aisha Tyler, who was, I believe, here plugging her appearance on Friends.
Right,
she was playing like Joey's girlfriend or Chandler's girlfriend or Ross's girlfriend, or maybe she humped all of them. Queens of the Stone Age, Rob Schneider's here, the Deftones, all tomorrow night on the best of. And until next time, this is Adam Carolla for Dr. Drew saying mahalo.
This has been LoveLine. The opinions expressed on this show are not necessarily those of the staff, management, sponsors, or this station. The producer for LoveLine is Ann Ingold. LoveLine is a presentation of Westwood One Entertainment.